Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of How Did This Get Booked? I, of course, am your host, Jake Manning, and I'm a veteran of the professional wrestling business for over a decade, and I've held every single job except selling popcorn. I'm joined by short-wearing in cold weather individual, water drinker.
Yeah.
Bathroom
It's
user.
new. Occasionally. I think bathrooms are for the marks, but I mean, I still partake sometimes.
A man using a very fancy microphone arm that I have.
Yeah, speaking of marks.
Yeah.
That guy left one behind.
Left one behind.
So if you think I'm in better clarity, there's a reason. I've got an arm now, and then I've got a fancy little microphone.
Well, see, that's what we do for the fans of this podcast, especially via my co-host, Zane Riley. Zane, how you doing?
Fantastic. Well, I've got the arm. I've got the microphone. I asked for one of these arms for Christmas, and got, I guess this is more like a 3-footer or so, 2 foot, not 2,
yeah,
something big, longer.
It's the cheapest one.
Well,
it's the cheapest one I could steal.
I wrote down the wrong one, and mine is like half this size, and it doesn't even fit on the table that I use to record stuff. So now I feel real good. Now that I know what I'm missing out on, I know what I need to go buy now.
Exactly. And you got a nice Sennheiser microphone. They're just nice $200
We sponsored all of a sudden?
Oh, well, I've got to give a shout out to them.
Yeah.
Maybe
we could be.
Maybe we could be.
I don't know if you've heard about our last sponsors. We're real good at sponsors.
Real good. We sell 2 bars of soap, and then they say, don't ever mention us.
Yeah, you can stop.
Ever. So
we had to take a couple episodes down because we kept talking about them after. Yeah. We actually made their sales go down.
Yeah, they're like, please don't
we sold 2, but they lost about 50 purchasers.
But what we have gained is new reviews. I want to put this back at the front because I know for a while we kind of, forgot
them altogether.
Yeah, I would say they kind of lagged. Didn't
even put them at the end. I just put them.
Just fucking forgot about them. And you're like, hey, do you have any T-shirts reviews? And I say no, and then in the episode. But no, we're putting it at the front. And since doing that, we actually picked up 2 new iTunes review. We used to have John Moses Photography. He was the person who was sitting on top of the poll of iTunes reviews. And once again, as a reminder, all you got to do to get a free How Did This Get Booked T-shirt is leave a review on iTunes or Stitcher. And John Moses, please, John, reach out to me so I can send you a shirt, or just let me know a show you're going to be at so I can hand you a free T-shirt.
Bring it with us.
I'll just bring it with you and give it to you gladly. I'd even give you 2. So
one for Cheyenne as well.
Exactly. So, but as a reminder, you just leave a review, DM me on Twitter or Instagram. And this is another thing, too. People are like, oh, I don't have Twitter or Instagram. To which I reply, how'd you find out about me?
How are you here?
How are you here?
And then what do you do in real life to where you don't need a social media?
I know we're talking through Facebook, but then like, hey, how can I get up with you and giving you an address to mail a T-shirt out to me? I'm like, well, we're kind of doing that right now.
Yeah, you could do it here.
We can do it right here, right now. Just give me your shirt size. There are multiple ways to get in contact with me via email. Trust me, I can't tell you how many people get on Twitter and be like, how do I get up with you about your shirt size and mailing address?
Well, what the fuck are you doing right now?
What are we doing? We're conversating right now. We could do it.
Is this the pre-conversation to the real conversation you expect to have on other platforms?
Yes. I have plenty of private options in which you can get in contact with me. So it's all possible. And I had that discussion with one of the people that left the reviews on iTunes. The person that superseded John Moses Photography was #I used to be over. Don't I know it, brother?
Didn't we all?
Didn't we all? Were we ever over? Would be a bigger statement to make.
Bruce Pritchard is now hitting us up?
I guess.
Man, that's cool.
Well, I mean, we were covered. We've been doing this a while.
Yeah, in my opinion, it goes whatever Conrad does and then us as far as wrestling podcasts.
I feel like I would believe that Conrad would listen to this and be like, you know what? I can do way better than these assholes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's always, every time that somebody does something like you always hear these stories of these great artists and musicians and comedians, and they're like, well, I went to an open mic night and I feel like I was better than everybody else, and then I went on to become Dave Chappelle. Yeah. And I feel like that we just did that for Conrad Thompson.
So you're welcome. You're welcome, CT.
Yeah,
I'll see you at StarCast in a couple weeks. We'll talk about it there.
Hey.
Yeah, so if you want to leave another, so Bruce left one. Conrad, if you want to leave a review, we'll send you a shirt. You let me know. I'll just bring it with us.
Yeah. Exactly, much like John Moses. You take care of Conrad. I'll take it, John Moses.
You can just text me, Conrad, because you got my number.
Yeah.
I'll drop it like that.
Let's drop it like that. But hashtag I used to be over. I don't think you've got up with me. You know how to get up with me. Instagram, Twitter. Find me on Facebook. The email's on the website. How did this get booked? Get in contact with me so I can get you your free shirt. But the person who's sitting on top of iTunes is T-Bone Duffy, who I believe was the guy who got up with me on Facebook. And I think your shirt already went out, and you should be receiving this before this podcast even comes out.
Fucking T-Bone.
Old T-Bone.
Doing T-Bone shit.
Yeah, or Duffy shit.
Or T-Bone Duffy shit, really. I mean,
Yeah,
you can't say the last name.
Don't box him in like that.
Yeah,
He's either doing T-Bone shit or he's doing Duffy shit.
That's it's party in the front, business in the back.
Duffy in the back.
Yeah, Duffy in the back.
Or it's party in the Duffy.
Ooh. I mean, you got to find a special person that wants to party in the Duffy.
Well,
I've been trying to get my girlfriend to do party in the Duffy for a long time. She's
well,
been real big. See you next Tuesday about it.
Well, that's when you got to go down under,
That's when you got to be a real T-Bone about some shit.
T-Bone on the D-Lo.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Stitcher _Ray_ is still on top of the poll there. I assuming that is our girl Ray.
It is.
Who you probably saw over the weekend. So.
She did come to some of the Ronin and FIP shows and hung out and took pictures with me and Caleb, and so you can see her being very supportive and being real awesome.
And she's also the person that made the Manning Cave sign, which I don't know exactly where I'm going to put up.
I don't know that I would hang it. I would be too scared it would fall.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking nice.
It is beautiful, and I don't want it to fall down at all, but I think I'm going to start having everybody that comes in for these podcasts takes pictures with it and just make that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it more of a thing that you hold up for a photo booth as opposed to hanging up. And like I said, get it more out there. Yeah. So I think it's cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah, super cool. Well, speaking of things that are super cool, since it's just you and me and we're not leaving a guest hanging for this amount of time that we've been talking.
Yeah, who would have been very respectful and quiet during all of this, because they never fucking are.
I think the person on our next episode is definitely going to be respectful and quiet. Maybe we'll pull the same bit.
Wouldn't be any fucking J.D. Caldwell's just trying to just get up in there.
Yeah, and be like, oh, by the way, I didn't see the last 30 minutes of the show.
But talk about it like he did up until he realized he couldn't go any further.
Especially when but I love how he's like, we were talking about it, and he goes, yep. And then I asked a follow-up question, and he goes, all right, I didn't see any.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Fucking the brazen balls on him, though. I wonder if he could have just kept talking to where we would believe that he actually did watch the end of it, or if we'd have just been like, you didn't watch any of this, did you?
I wish he would have.
I know. I just commit to the gimmick, man.
Yeah,
Fuck
just
it.
commit to the bit, man.
Because then I would be like, maybe I fucking missed something, because I was kind of half-assed watching it at one point.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's how I am with a lot of these.
Yeah.
But I definitely didn't half-ass watch our topic of discussion.
Nope.
Which is pro wrestling in the mainstream media. And in a very timely fashion, we tried to get this done as quickly
as possible.
Yes, as quick as possible. So that way we could talk about it, and hopefully also too, it's a little bit past, so maybe some people have already seen it. So it's not too early, because I think that's one of our problems with our Glow season review discussions that we have.
Yeah.
We try to get that out so quick that some people haven't binge watched the entire season, and so
like us.
Yeah. But I think our season 2 Glow episode wasn't as listened as the season 1 was.
Yeah.
So if you caught up on Glow and all that stuff, go back and listen to our whole season long reviews.
Yeah.
So I think that was the big problem with season 2.
Yeah.
But
or we sucked, A or B.
Oh, exactly. I didn't want to say it.
I understand. That's fine.
Normally I save all the cynicism for Twitter, but if you want to go ahead and put it right here on the podcast,
let's be real on this podcast.
Okay, let's be real. Let's be real. Now that you got this new microphone,
I got this. I'm kind of hot shit right now.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I'm your sidekick or you're my sidekick now.
I know.
The only way that I feel it's different is you have headphones on and I do not.
And I'm in the power chair.
Yeah, but I mean, arguably, I could bring headphones from my car and just bring my own chair from now on.
But you have no place to put the headphones in.
True that. I mean, I would just wear them as more of like a peacocking situation.
Well, there's some headphones right there if you want to put those on. You can plug them into nothing.
We'll get there.
Okay.
I might. I don't.
All right.
Depends on how Ivory Tower I feel you're getting at some point here.
Okay. Well, I mean, I let me just scoot this chair up a little bit higher.
Does it go higher?
Yeah, it does. And I always make sure I'm higher. Right there. So.
But I got to go to the basement to get some things. We're off to a good start.
Off to a fantastic start, because our topic of discussion today is the feature film Fighting with My Family, which, as we were discussing right now, are in theaters right now.
Yes.
Just was released at the very end of February. Just came out.
I'm sure you can find a real good bootleg out there somewhere, too, if you're not trying to help out the WWE. If you don't feel like giving money to the machine any more than $9.99 you do already. But I'm not condoning that.
Don't condone that. Mostly because of the man who is the director, writer, and one of the producers.
Triple H.
No,
The Rock.
I'm referring to Stephen Merchant, who I've always been a very big fan of.
Is he Gervais's buddy?
Yeah.
Because he's in this movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. I knew that he was in the movie. I didn't know he wrote it. That's cool.
Yeah. And here's a fun fact that I found, a fun piece of trivia that I looked up on the IMDb
We're doing
page.
trivia at the beginning now.
Oh, well, it ties right in. Because
Very
also
good.
one of the other producers of this film is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Of course. I mean, you can tell that one.
And basically how this whole movie came about was that The Rock was filming Fast and Furious 6 in the UK, and he saw the documentary Fighting With My Family on TV and thought it was like this really awesome thing. Like, they should make a movie out of this. And then when he started making things happen, because he's The Rock and he can make things happen.
Do whatever he wants.
He reached out to his friend Stephen Merchant, and the way he became friends with Stephen
That
Merchant...
is more the question I have.
Because they were co-stars in the movie The Tooth Fairy.
That is correct.
So, if you hate the movie The Tooth Fairy or think it was stupid, keep in mind that The Tooth Fairy was the thing that created this movie.
The catalyst that caused this to occur.
So, it's just the way entertainment works. Sometimes you do something that isn't great, and then you end up doing something that is great. Now, if we have some very big tooth fairyers out there, or tooth fairies, whatever.
Kind of like bronies. Now, to say that like tooth fairies would be the people that would dress up like tooth fairies.
Yeah. But
tooth fairyers would probably be people that just highly believe in them.
But not the mythical creature of the Tooth Fairy, but whatever The Rock was playing in the Tooth Fairy.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. Like the people that people that love the movie The Tooth Fairy.
Okay. Those would be the fairyers. The fairies are the people that believe in the mythical creature. Is that what we're going for?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Tooth Fairyers.
I'm just saying, I don't know if there's a subculture of people that look at the Tooth Fairy the way that some people look at Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
And they recite all the lines.
Oh man, that'd be real rad though.
Yeah. I wish
we should look into that.
We should. And
if not, we should maybe start that.
I should have definitely looked into the movie The Tooth Fairy so I could quote.
I was gonna say, what if it's real shitty? What if we're like?
I think it's real shitty.
Yeah.
I think it's. I have this assumption just because I looked in the movie poster with
The Rock and dressed as a tooth fairy.
Yes.
More like a fairy rather than just a tooth fairy. Like it was just dressed as like what you would think a fairy would be like, not necessarily just of the tooth denomination.
Easy there. You're trying to.
Yeah, I'm getting real. Sorry, we're getting into some real alt-right stuff right now.
Yeah, we are. Easy there. Easy. All right.
Go ahead. So where were we? Tooth fairies. Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's fly away from this fairy talk. How about that?
Let's. I've sunk my teeth a little too deep.
Good one.
Did I make up for it?
You made up for it.
Thank God. I keep my PC cred up.
But let's go over some of the stars of this.
What the fuck are we doing anymore?
We're talking about Fighting With My Family. That's what we're doing, sir. Just to get over some of the stars of this movie.
A ton.
Oh, this cast is
Holy
really good.
Crap.
I don't know why they are not advertising this cast more. Obviously, the person who plays Paige Saraya Knight, Florence Pugh, I believe is how her name is said. It's spelled similar to a Zach Pugh, who is a comic in LA. So I'm just going to assume that Florence Pugh is.
You guys know.
Yeah. She also has starred in The Following and Lady Macbeth. So obviously.
Got those action chops. You don't get to just be in Lady Macbeth because you have an accent.
And the actor that played Zach Knight is Jack Lowden, who was in Dunkirk. So
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, just swinging hard. And we're not even to the biggest stars.
No, not at all.
The person who plays Ricky Knight is Nick Frost.
Hell yeah.
Who is, funny enough, Simon Page's kind of sidekicky guy.
Yeah.
And Stephen Merchant is kind of Ricky Gervais' sidekick guy. It's interesting that the sidekicks.
So you're gonna turn some shit around about how I'm your sidekick now? Where's those fucking headphones at? Where'd you put those goddamn headphones?
Put them right there.
I'm gonna get them. Keep it up.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Making all these sidekick references, I ain't appreciating it.
Okay, all right.
Unless this is Chuck Norris and that one kid that died in that old Sidekicks movie. Shit. This movie Sidekicks with Chuck Norris. You ever saw that movie?
I know what you're talking about, but you're referring to a kid.
That's the only kind that's. Well, I mean, he wasn't a kid when he died, but he's dead now. But you would remember him. Never mind. Go on. Sidekicks.
Okay, I'm
fucking
sorry.
headphones.
I'm sorry if all the sidekick talk offended you, and I'm also sorry if all the fairy talk earlier offended people earlier.
Yeah.
So,
but I made up for it with a good joke.
you did. But
So, write that down.
they also had some very good casting. The person who played Saraya Knight, the working name Saraya Knight, Julia Knight, Lena Headey.
Fucking, I had no clue until the movie started. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Cersei? Cersei Lannister's here?
Holy shit!
What a quiet grab. Like, I'm not even gonna put this over.
This should be in the fucking trailer. Fucking Cersei Lannister is Saraya Knight. Boom.
In 90% of other like niches in the world, she would be the bigger name than The Rock.
Yeah, and that's all you need to do. If you wanted to sell me on this movie, like I watched it because we were doing this podcast. But if you told me that Cersei Lannister is playing Saraya Knight, I'm in.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
I'm in 100 because I've met Saraya Knight. Anybody that's seen Saraya Knight wrestle, and you're telling me that Cersei fucking Lannister is playing her
and nailed it.
Oh, nailed her specifically perfectly, but just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Go see this fucking
just on her alone.
I know we're supposed to do recommendations at the end of this whole conversation. Just go see this movie solely off that and tell everybody in the world.
Cast.
Yeah, just off that one cast.
Because we're not even done with big names.
No, we're not. Obviously, you have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's in this as well, and of course the Big Show and and Sheamus, and
Sheamus was there,
and then that rounds off the big names, right?
There you go, yeah.
So, and of course, Stephen Merchant does play the father-in-law to Zach Knight as well,
and fucking the agent is Vince Vaughn.
Yes, and Vince Vaughn as well. I don't know why I stepped on that because I wrote it down here. Where they listed on IMDb in order of appearance. So Vince Vaughn is much lower down. A little lower in. I believe his character's name they listed as Hutch.
Yeah, sex tape.
Okay, do we want to talk about this right away?
No, we'll get there, but I just want to put that out there up front.
Okay. We'll come back.
I believe when this is over, we're going to have differing opinions on suggesting this movie to people.
Okay, we'll circle back around. Little teaser.
Hutchinson or something? Well, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. So that's some of the more notable people in the cast. I'm sure we'll go over some people that we spotted throughout this. But yeah, you want to just dive right in?
Yeah, let's just go ahead and start.
This one's gonna be a little bit tough, because sometimes movies like I do a little bit more research ahead of time, where I just walked into the theater and obviously I couldn't hit pause and do notes, so a lot of these notes are very frantic
and written in the dark.
So I don't know. You obviously have no notes. So
not at all. I just watched it last night. So.
Okay, all right. So it's fresh in your mind.
Yeah. So I think we have that good dynamic where you do all the research and I just kind of fucking do the zingers in there and then say stupidly like fairies.
Okay, well, good, because I'm very shaky on the research, so I'm gonna need a full support of zingers.
I got you.
You're gonna have to give me like a flying buttress to support my research.
This back day, I'll carry you, brother.
All right, cool. We start off the movie with some classic WWE footage, and then a younger version of the Knight family. As far as this is gonna be tough, I'm just gonna call her Paige.
Yeah,
it's simple. I keep looking at it. It's Paige. There you go. Even though her real name is Saraya, and Saraya is obviously named after her mother's working name, which gets brought up later.
Yes, which is an issue later.
So Paige and Zach wrestling each other as a child. I love how carny this family is. I feel like this is the family that George South always wanted.
If they got anything right whatsoever in this movie, it's definitely that.
Yes, and also too, like they don't portray it as. They portray it just desperate enough, but they portray it with coming from such heart.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there is like this is a carnival aspect of it. It is.
They're very passionate about their carniness.
Yeah, it's like no, it's almost like we chose this life. I often say this.
They're not doing it to get ahead in the crook sense, like most carny promoters would. They're doing it to get ahead to help the whole family, but actually put on a product.
They're like pirates, as I always say. Well, I always feel like at this level,
like the raping and pillaging pirates.
No, not the raping, like the nice pirates.
Okay, all right.
The nice pirates,
like Smitty, and not like Captain Hook.
Yeah,
okay,
more like
gotcha.
Because I always feel like this level of professional wrestling that I'm at, and the Knight family is at, is basically we just roll into a town, we scoop up all the money, and then we sail off into the night.
Okay, yeah.
And I feel like that's exactly what this family's doing. Like we're rolling in, we're pulling up, we're scooping in all the money, and then they're just sailing off to the next town and doing it all over again.
Yeah.
And they're just finding new ways to just scoop in money. The barking,
but not crook ways.
No. You're providing a product.
Yes.
But you are most certainly giving just enough. I mean, the whole reason why Paige wrestled, because we need an under 18 match, and we're gonna put our son in a pink Power Ranger outfit,
put him in drag real quick, and let him
just
wrestle his sister.
Wrestle his sister. So, I mean, like I said, this is the family that George South always wanted.
Yeah.
This is
they all had to go do good things and not
real
be wrestlers.
lives and be parents and get married and have regular jobs. But
this is not what he signed up for.
No, absolutely not. I'm trying to look through these notes because I took a lot of this down here. So they're always looking for an opportunity to get with the WWE.
Yeah,
because obviously
that's the goal. And
I like that it's the parents' goal, and they want that so they can make money off their children a little bit.
Yeah,
but it's not. Once again, there are us recapping what the parents' motivation is on everything.
Oh yeah,
makes them sound awful.
Yeah.
But it doesn't come off as awful in the movie, and we know those people, and we know it's not awful.
And maybe it's because of the people that are playing these people that you just always look at Nick Frost as being a lovable person, or you see her great acting skills as Saraya. I never say it right. Saraya. So maybe that softens it a bit. But yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, they are kind of ostracizing these children.
Well, actually, what's funny is Ricky Knight was unhappy with the casting of Nick Frost.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, no, that guy would do an awful job. He wanted a guy, I'm trying to think.
Called Ricky Knight. And
No, you think. The guy's name that Ricky Knight wanted him to portray him was Ray Winstone.
Okay.
Or Winstone. He actually played Mr. French in The Departed. Who that is, I don't know. I just looked at his IMDb. I'm not 100% exactly who that is. But he just looks more like a rough and tumble type of guy. A little bit more serious as opposed to less comedic.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah.
Nick Frost was a great choice.
Fantastic. And actually, Ricky Knight said that after he saw Nick's performance, he was like, oh, yeah, I get this.
You're totally wrong.
I was totally wrong.
Good.
I was absolutely wrong. Because there's just a lovableness to it. And yeah, I know what I'm doing is not on the up and up, but you know this.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of talk like, oh, I'm going to go back to Robin Banks. And he keeps talking about, and then of course I'm looking at Nick Frost. I'm like, you ain't going to rob no fucking bank.
Not that big boy.
Not you. Get the fuck out of here.
I like that when most fat comedic actors start getting bigger, like roles like Shaun of the Dead, and that got bigger with the other movies that he did. They all lose all that weight. They all Jonah Hill it up. Not him, brother. Ballooned up even more. Nick Frost looking ripe.
Yeah, but I buy him being Ricky Knight.
Oh, totally do. Definitely do. Especially when they show the home videos later on. Yeah, just like him. And if anything, Nick Frost, far more attractive man than Ricky Knight.
That's a debatable fact.
We can debate right now.
Okay. Well,
we won't. We'll do that later.
Oh yeah. Okay. We'll do it later. We'll do that later.
You guys debate and tell us what you think. We'll put we have an Instagram, right? What do we have?
No, we
don't have anything.
We don't have a How Did This Get Booked Instagram.
Well, then or not Instagram. Do we have a Twitter?
No,
you have Twitter.
I have Twitter.
We have Facebook.
We have Facebook.
Okay, then put it on Facebook. We'll do a poll. Who's hotter?
Even though the industry says that Facebook likes don't matter, so go ahead, whatever.
Yeah. Stud Finder. Who is it? Ricky Knight or Nick Frost? Ricky Knight.
Yeah.
Make that happen.
Loyal fans. Yeah, just at me at ManScoutMan.
Yeah, we're not going to put it up. You guys just tell us.
You just tell us what your opinions are.
You do all the work. Let us know.
Because I feel like Ricky Knight is kind of a rough and tumble. Like I get why Sweet Saraya would be sweet on old Ricky, like real life Ricky. You know, I mean Nick Frost. Like sure he's lovely like a buddy, but I mean I'm not gonna let him penetrate me.
Okay, well,
that's how I feel about it.
I mean, don't let Ricky do it. You're gonna have all kinds of fucking kids, man. That boy is fertile.
Apparently. Well, he's got to fill out a card.
He does. I need more.
He's got a wrestling school he's got to manage that's going to be run by his son, who's teaching a blind kid how to wrestle.
Successfully, it would seem, at some point.
Yeah, and just scooping up all the kids.
Yeah, and scooping up all the money.
Yep, and just trying to fill out his roster.
Yep, I get it.
Very Michael Bakikio-ish. Hey. Dangling that dream of being a professional wrestler, and I need you guys to work in a sweatshop a little later on.
No more rice for you.
No more rice for you.
That's great. All right, we'll go back to where we're at.
Okay. Then
we haven't gotten far, but we're already off the rails.
Yeah, we're gonna be all over the place. We might even miss a few things, but let's see what happens.
That's what you guys are for.
That's what you guys are for. Do a poll.
Poll. What did we miss?
What did we miss?
In level of importance.
I put it right at the end. Did we make any mistakes? Did we miss anything?
Yeah.
Just at me on Twitter, at Manscout Manning.
Make a poll, but it's only yes or no. Don't tell us what we missed. Just yes, you did.
Did you guys do a shit job talking about this movie or not? I don't know.
Did you guys just talk for an hour just to get some content out? And to that we say yes.
Yes. And when you said content, I vomited in my mouth a little bit. 'Cause I actually give a fuck about the artistic quality of the show.
Gotcha.
That's why we have an arm in here, and you have a microphone much closer to your face.
Well, I mean, this arm's not necessarily your fault. It's more your other deviant podcast that you do without me.
You gonna focus my face?
He was too lazy to want to take and keep up with his own things.
Hold your tongue, sir. He's not lazy. He was super fucking drunk and he forgot it. And that's why this podcast sounds far better. Next week is going to sound even better as well.
That's right. From now on, watch out. We're hot shit over here. Suck that Tim Bell pod.
Yeah, suck on that.
I guess we could talk about this movie now.
Yeah, we can go back to it now. We went off on that little rant. But let's just jump right into the tryout.
Yeah, I mean...
Which is weird. Let me go ahead and just say
it's not how it would happen.
Absolutely not.
No.
And you just don't walk in and say, I'm having a tryout. Oh, no, you don't. You say you're an extra. And they have you do extra shit, and then they run you through a tryout.
And they don't allow you to just wander off and accidentally run into the rock somewhere.
Oh, you don't do that. No.
If you're curious, you could probably pop into my other podcast called Extra Talented, talk all about it.
You son of a...
Yeah, there it is.
You fucking find a way to plug your other podcast
Man,
in the middle of this.
so good. Move this arm up a little bit. Does this chair go up?
You want fucking... You want the headphones?
I don't want two pairs of headphones.
You want two pairs of headphones.
Anywho.
You're going to need it because you're not getting very many guests recently.
I know. I do my own self now. Yeah. Oh, it was awful. And I had to interview myself, too. I couldn't even rely on anybody else, mainly because I know you didn't have... I had 2 hours to get it up, and I knew I couldn't be like, hey, Jake, I really fucked up. I need your help, buddy.
I could have helped. I would have ran right over because I support you.
Now I know.
Now you know.
Now when I do my own second parter.
Okay, and then we'll do my fourth part.
Yeah, we'll do your fourth part.
Okay.
And we'll do 8 hours of it, so it can be like your other podcast.
Yeah. So, but listen.
So there's a tryout going on.
Yeah, there's Well, I mean, I was already going to think like I'm a bit of a journeyman as far as podcasts and wrestling.
Sure
but speaking of journeyman,
there we go. Better.
Hutch Morgan. I think he's playing an amalgamation of Mark Carrano.
Yeah.
And I think there's even some Bill DeMont supposed to be in here.
Just being a real big asshole.
Yeah, there might even be some William Regal. Maybe I don't know. There's a whole
and some Mick Foley because he talks about throwing himself off a cage at one point.
Hutch Morgan is I'm not gonna say is a Topa. He's more of an avatar.
Yeah, he's
for
definitely an avatar.
Multiple different professional wrestlers. So he's a placeholder.
Yeah.
He is a placeholder for several different people. It's condensing down. I would like to believe that all the things that needed to happen in this script, we would have to cast 3 people that would be probably net rung just below Vince Vaughn level actors. Yeah. Or we can just scrape all this money,
put him in a real good person,
and then put in Vince Vaughn,
who is amazing in this movie.
He is
very old, good. Like not to say that he lost steps along the way, but prime Vince Vaughn, in my opinion. Super dry, super quick.
You know what? We can fast forward a little bit even to like some of the training montages and stuff like that, where they're at the performance center. A lot of the things that he is saying are
super believable.
Are things I've said before in training.
Yep.
Especially the usage of cliches and promos, because I run a promo class.
Yeah.
And I've had somebody cut that particular promo, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's good." I go, "Oh, guess what? It was great when I heard it in the '80s."
Yeah.
And that's something I don't put up in my promo class. So that's very much on point. And the way that he talks and the dryness of it, that's how I teach my class, and pushing students to a breaking point. I don't have a horn or anything like that.
You should get a horn. That horn thing was rad. I really enjoyed the whole thing.
I wonder if the horn thing...
Just honk it.
Is the horn thing a real thing in the performance center?
I've never heard anyone talk about a horn being a thing.
I feel like it's a thing.
Let me find out who was also doing some time around then. Maybe I can delve into that with somebody.
Maybe that's a Bill DeMont thing. So like I said, I think there's some, I think that is the darkness version of Hutch Morgan. There's a little Bill DeMont.
There's definitely.
There's some Bill DeMont.
There's a donut in a butthole around here somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. No, obviously there's some lovable Norman Smiley-ish
of course.
in this. So there maybe even a little Dusty Rhodes in there, and like I said, I think there may be some William Regal-esque characteristics in Hutch Morgan.
But there's some Demont in there.
There's definitely
There's some Demont in that soul.
Oh, there's some dark Demont, especially when he goes on that conversation off the bus
About her brother.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
We'll get there. Or
we can't give all the good stuff. Vince Vaughn is the best part of this movie to me.
You know, it carries it right through.
Yeah,
I totally agree. If we were to talk about it,
easily the highlight to me.
For sure. Is the way my notes are structured. If we just want to talk about things that we pop off our head about Vince Vaughn, that's why
I liked it, because he's such an integral part to the rest of it that I don't want to hit it all at once, and then we'll get to that part and be like, and then there's Vince Vaughn did that thing we talked about a little bit ago.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll go around with this, but I want to make a quick note about where they're holding the tryout that arena.
Yeah.
I recognize it right away because it's at the very beginning of the cold open of James Bond's "A World Is Not Enough," and that's what was marking it. I was like, "Oh, it's the world is not enough. Amazing. This is great. Oh, this is cool." You know. So, but yeah,
they go to this tryout. They end up in not even really catering, just off in a very public area to the stars, and The Rock pops up, and they just talk to him forever.
Never. I've seen people get kicked out of tapings for less.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
That would never fucking happen. The Rock is a nice person.
Yeah,
but there would have been in the end, The Rock had security in his fucking suite.
Yeah,
you don't think he would have been walking around with security at this moment, and you don't think security would have ushered them far away before they get
when they're just rando folk.
When they get the one syllable out of "rah," as soon as I get that out, boom,
somebody's been tackled.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah,
boom. Taken out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So that never would have happened.
This lives on some other far out planet that is never going to occur.
Yeah,
But then, so they're at the arena for SmackDown. Mm-hmm. That is going to be a live show. But then they have these tryouts in a completely different area that's not the arena.
Like they set up a second ring.
Yes, like a whole different room. Just for this, and that is also not a thing.
No, that is not a thing. They do it in the ring that they're going to use that night. And sometimes, if they don't set up the ring fast enough, they're like, "Oh, no tryouts today."
It doesn't happen.
That's why you don't show up like I'm doing a tryout, because you might not even have a tryout. And if you should, and sometimes it's like, "Oh, we scheduled it for Monday. We ran out of time Monday because we had to go over this thing with Batista, or had to go over this thing with The Rock, or John Cena had to step this thing out, or Vince wasn't happy with the way something was written, and they had to go over and over and over again. Sorry, guys, no tryout. We'll do it again tomorrow." And then,
but none of you guys are invited. So fuck off.
Yeah. Or the people that do show up that are invited, then all of a sudden something happens there, and they're stepping through they're not really happy with this camera shot. We're going over again. Sorry, guys. I know you came in for a tryout, and this didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's usually how it happens. Them having a whole separate ring. Although UK, though, if they were actually looking for somebody to be in the UK, they might do something like that. But I at the time that we're trying to portray here, which is a lot of things in here.
Well, I assume if they were going to, especially if they knew that they wanted to use them, like Paige and him, I assume they would do that in an off location. Because there's going to obviously have to be a lot of time put into this. They're not going to give a lot of time in a production day to that. So, I would more believe it. They would go to the WAW gym or something like that, rather than build a completely different room for them there. I mean, this would have just happened differently, regardless.
They would, they would have had some sort of connection with some sort of promoter there. They would have already had a ring set up someplace in somebody's school. Like Robbie Brookside would be like, "Hey, this place has a ring. We want to look at 30 UK wrestlers because we're very interested in."
Open up these connections.
Yeah, we're trying to open up some connections. We want more of an international feel or a developmental system, and we want to spend more than 20 minutes possibly, or an hour. We want to spend a full 5-6 hour day to really get a good grasp on who these people are.
And which the way that WWE has an idea and the length it takes to actually put that idea in place, it would not be that hard to believe that if this actually happened pseudo like this, that when Paige was trying out, they believed they were going to eventually have a UK, and this was the beginning of their UK relationship to make that UK that we have now a thing. Just the way the length of time it takes.
But at the end of the day, it's a fucking movie, and I don't know why we're going to all these details.
Yeah, I know.
So,
because later when I show them the movie, it's going to be a lot of these reasons why.
Yeah, but that's what this podcast is for.
No, exactly.
Is the nuance.
Yeah,
because some people will see this movie as 100% fact.
Yeah.
And then there'll be other people like, will just shit. I'm like, oh, this is all bullshit. So I feel like we should be able to acknowledge, like, no, this is a little over the top, or no, this is spot on.
Yeah.
And
this is definitely over the top.
Yes, and everything that Vince Vaughn says in the performance is spot on. So there you go. Yep. Keep your tallies at home. Do a poll on it. Do a poll on it.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Poll on your own page. See what happens.
Yeah, see what happens. Maybe your page is better than our page.
Yeah, and then let us know so we can start picking back off that.
Yeah.
What about ad space on your pages?
We'll do that. Also, do we need to talk about the skill and the spark? They keep talking about the spark. That's an important thing. And I guess Paige came from the TV show Charmed.
I did not know that. That's neat.
Believable. I assume it's real, and that's the way it was. Okay, great. I'll accept it as fact.
If they were going to take liberties on something, I don't think it would be that.
But anyways, I have the tryout. They scoop up Paige and say, you have the spark.
Though I loved my biggest mark out moment, just because I'm a fat dude that wrestles. Dave Mastiff was in
my notes.
Was in the training group, and I just like, holy shit, that's Dave Mastiff, and that was like my biggest oh shit moment of this whole movie. Oh fuck, there's Dave Mastiff.
Have you met him before?
No, I bet he's the loveliest.
Super nice man. I met him very briefly when I was over with Preston City Wrestling with Freight Train for the Power of the Freight Train documentary. And here's something you might even love even more about him. I guess for a Halloween costume is I guess he dressed up like Buzz Lightyear.
Yep.
Imagine that.
Man, what a man.
Dressed up like Buzz Lightyear.
God.
Unbelievable, because he's shaped just like in that barrel chest, like the suit.
He is shaped like a Buzz Lightyear astronaut suit.
Yes, so
love it.
Picture that.
Gonna have to find that.
I don't know if it's anywhere in line, but I was told that by I believe Nikki Cross.
Nice.
She told me that.
And yeah, I didn't know anybody else that was in that class.
I didn't either. I looked up and I kind of scrolled through the names on IMDb and I didn't recognize a whole lot of other people like the wrestlers. I know there's like couple of them. I think Queen Maya might have been one of them somewhere on some of those list of people. So, and the bald guy that was always at the Performance Center, I was like, is that Simon from What Culture? And like, no, that's not him. That's not the bald guy from What Culture.
Really stretching there.
Yeah, I was really stretching there.
This is where I want my two loves to come together.
Yeah, it does all blend together.
Yeah.
But Paige gets picked for developmental. She demands that her brother goes. That doesn't happen.
He gives her that cool choice. Hey, stay behind then. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Dead
on.
Dead on.
Couldn't stay.
Once again, Vince Vaughn.
Yep.
Just hitting the nail right on the head on everything. Then they show Paige packing up in her room, and I think it should be pointed out that in her room, she had a Chris Benoit action figure. I think maybe the set designer should have done a little bit of research on all of the action figures they're putting in that room.
Slip by there.
A little slip by since this is a WWE Studios thing, which is funny that they let that go by.
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know, maybe this is not the right time to tell this story, or
maybe it is.
We'll come back to this.
Okay,
there's an interesting story about somebody they try to avoid later on. We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that. But anyway, she comes to America.
Is it Dynamite Kid?
No.
Okay.
No. His life hasn't fallen apart yet, but possibly.
Yeah.
She comes to America, and all the NXT people are staying in high-rise apartments. Which
that is not a.
That's not the case. Let me make this very clear to everybody.
Or a hotel or whatever.
No. I mean, no. Let me make this very, very clear to everybody listening to this. People who are wrestling at NXT in the development stuff, they are not staying in a place that nice. Let me make this very, very. I understand why they did it because aesthetically, she's coming from Norwich, and you're trying to make that look a certain way, and the Performance Center looks amazing.
Yeah.
So you kind of need a place where she's living.
And I also don't believe that was the real Performance Center.
Well, whatever they dressed up.
Yeah, no, the location looks cool. I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying, I don't think it is either. Yeah. And I'm never going to be allowed in that building anyways, unless I'm delivering canvases.
So I have an idea. I guess we can talk about it right now.
Go ahead.
So me and Kelly were talking about this. I have this grand idea. I'm going to try to get a job as a janitor at the PC.
Okay.
And then one day be sweeping and stop and watch for a minute and do that every once in a while. And I'm going to try to get a real Goodwill Hunting thing to happen.
I was going to say, I hope you're going to Goodwill Hunting.
Yes. No, I'm just going to kidnap. That was my whole thing was I was just going to kidnap somebody.
That would have been a weird left turn.
Yeah.
I was like, I think you're going for a Goodwill Hunting thing.
I was going to chloroform some people and then like eventually just kill everyone off.
So you're going for a Silence of the Lambs thing? Like, is that
But no, I want a Goodwill
help
Hunting.
me with this couch. He just put his couch in the back here.
But no, I would do a Goodwill Hunting thing where I'm like, I think I can do this. And then they let me do a couple things and ha, this is how I got my job. I Goodwill Hunting to all of you.
Like I just said, the only way I'm going to ever be in that building is if I'm dropping off canvases, and I will be escorted in and escorted out immediately and told.
That's how it's happened before.
And they will tell me not to look down this hallway or in this doorway, and I'm not to speak to anybody or make eye contact with anybody, even the janitor who is doing a Goodwill Hunting thing.
Who will be me wearing a mustache on top of the mustache I really have. 2 mustaches. That's what's going to get me in
You
there.
pull the ball cap down. And get a little mad.
Zane? Sorry, sir. I don't know who you are. Please go away.
Is that an Eastern European accent? I hope so.
Not sure yet. I'm getting there.
Okay.
I was more of a foghorn leghorn. It
Okay, all right, cool.
was more of a colonel thing.
More of a Colonel Robert Parker?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Robert Parker.
I can only hope to have a tan that good one day.
Oh, one day.
Because I swear to God, we have a podcast in here somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Welcome to our podcast within a podcast, Tan Talk.
Speaking of tans, that's what you get in Florida. And yeah, the high-rise apartments, not that nice.
I've been to a million independent NXT wrestlers' apartments, and they're all the same, and every single one of them has fucking roommates.
And I understand why they did it, because the set that you have of the Performance Center looks so nice and modern, so you obviously want them to be living in something place similar to that. But fun fact, back when I was with a certain person who was the host of Diva Diaries, we did an interview with Saraya Knight, and we did that interview at Paige's apartment.
Oh.
Definitely did not look like what it does in the movie. Just to let
It's
you
not
know.
like this.
It was a very nice apartment.
Yeah.
It was very nice, very comfortable place.
But there was not a rooftop pool there?
No, not a rooftop pool.
Okay.
It was actually 2 stories.
Uh-huh.
It's a very regular Florida apartment, and it's perfectly fine. And she was actually stopped through in between like sessions at the Performance Center. Like she had full day sessions, and that's when I realized I don't ever want to be a Performance Center, because I don't want to work on wrestling for an entire day, 7 days a week, just to do it in front of people. Like that's a lot of work. I mean, I've already been to college. Okay, I've already been there. I've already done that. So now you want me to go back to college at 37 years old
and throw yourself down as one of your classes?
Well, then maybe I should
fall down class.
But
Here we go.
But maybe I shouldn't be against this. Maybe as you're doing a Goodwill Hunting thing, maybe I'm doing a back to school thing.
Oh man!
Well, just walking around, talking to Prince Albert, like, hey, Vietnam. I lived through Vietnam, and then we do like a whole Sam Kinison, Rodney David shit there. I was down in the mud eating rice patties.
Oh man, I wonder if we could get a remake of Back to School.
I might be living it.
This is it, all right. And I'm the good. I got the Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah,
we'll get Caleb in there to beautiful mind it.
Nah, Caleb's gonna be my Burt Young. So
the podcasting guys, how you doing? Welcome to another edition of How Did This Get Booked? Whatever.
Let's talk about some of the females that are also at the Performance Center scene. And let's talk about one particular name that stood out to me immediately. That is the character's name, Jerry Lynn.
Mrs. JL?
Yeah, who I missed opportunity. I don't know why, because Tessa Blanchard was the stunt double for
Paige,
for Florence Pugh, and then I think she also played a couple other people.
Okay.
She was also the stunt double for them. Missed opportunity that the real Jerry Lynn was in the stunt double for Jerry Lynn.
He's a beautiful man. I probably could have pulled it off.
I definitely think he could have pulled it off for sure. I mean,
he probably didn't want to cut the weight.
If they used a male stunt double in A View to a Kill,
they also used a male stunt double for Catwoman, for Halle Berry and Catwoman.
Okay,
so.
see, this all tracked. I don't know why Jerry Lynn wasn't a stunt double for Jerry Lynn.
Well, maybe they had that plan and that was their way to get him in, and they're like, "We're not changing it now," even though we said no.
Maybe so.
So Jerry Lynn, you follow me on Twitter. Maybe you see this and you can just let me know why.
Jerry Lynn, you follow me on Twitter too. Nice man.
God, right?
Good, nice man.
Oh.
I'm so happy.
What are you guys doing at home right now?
Yeah, I'm so happy that the 2 matches I had in the ECW arena were against Jerry Lynn and Blue Meanie.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
the 2 good ones.
Yeah, the 2 good ones. Anyways, Performance Center.
Now, were those girls supposed to be real girls?
Or
are they also avatars?
That's also an avatar situation.
Okay,
I think they were like, picking out like Charlotte Flair and
maybe like a Summer Rae or something.
Yeah, there's like a whole listing in here. There's a whole listing on this IMDb page, and I thought they were all kind of bullshit. That's why I didn't kind of bring it up. But I did notice they said that like, oh, this person was supposed to be like kind of like a combination of Charlotte Flair and Summer. And I was like, I don't buy any of this.
Yeah.
This sounds like bullshit. So, but of course, Zach starts to get depressed.
Yeah.
Well, this is all going on, and of course, Paige is going through a rough time. And obviously, Zach stops picking up the kids to go to wrestling training. And it just gets a sad moment because it kind of hits me in my situation in life and where I feel about my career. And then because all of my friends have action figures now. They're not just on TV. They have fucking action figures. It's not like, oh, they were on TV for 6 months and then something happened. And
now they're back here.
And they said, fuck you. And now they're back here. And they're wrestling for Evolve. And then they're on PWG. And then they're on New Japan. As if that doesn't hurt enough.
Yeah.
No, they're on TV. They're holding belts. And they have action figures.
Yeah.
So they're doing quite well for themselves.
Pretty damn decent.
And I'm sitting here and I don't drink anymore, so I don't have the solace or the comfort of alcohol to make me feel better about myself.
No, you keep talking about it right here. You might have it later tonight.
I did cardio today, so I most certainly can. I didn't have to do a weight workout, so I would be allowed to drink alcohol.
Oh.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see how I feel.
We'll see what type of weird diatribes make it on Twitter later.
But whatever I do tonight won't be as sad as the scene when they just leave a blind kid swinging on a swing. Like, I feel like Vince McMahon had to see a first pass of this movie, and he's just like, the scene with the brother isn't sad enough. Get that goddamn blind kid to just be swinging on a swing.
I like to think that was just his idea, period. And it was just like, I want a blind kid. And I want it to look triumphant, but then I wanted you to take it away from that blind kid.
I want the blind kid just to be swinging. Swinging like nobody's coming.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows.
You could argue with yourself that maybe that child lives in that swing. That's what I want. I want feeling.
And that kid better not fucking sneeze either.
We could fucking die before this is over. It'd be real convenient. Yeah, that blind kid though.
That blind kid just swinging on a swing. Like,
just hanging out. Like, man. We'll talk about it when we get back on the triumphant return.
If you think about more, he gets even sadder. Like,
yeah.
Him doing wrestling training is like the only time he feels like a regular kid, and he's just sitting there waiting for that moment to come.
How does he get to the goddamn swing?
I mean, the same way he got to the van.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Does he? I would hope he lives near the park in which the swing is at.
And how long did he wait?
Yeah. When did he give up?
Yeah, because he's not going to know when it's dark.
Yeah.
That motherfucker probably was there all night.
And it always looks gloomy in these shots, so it's not like there's a difference between fucking daytime and nighttime that much.
Or even temperature that he can feel.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's no sun ever in this show, in this movie, except for when they're in Florida. And there's never sun in Florida. It's all rain.
Listen, I want that blind kid swinging in a swing, and I want a time lapse to show that he's out there for 8 hours. I want it to be sunny outside, and then I want it to get dark, and I just want him just swinging, waiting for hope to roll up in a van.
And it never is going to happen.
Never comes.
I want 2 guys in the back selling drugs, but the kid doesn't know it because he can't see them.
Because, you know what? There's no chance. No chance in hell.
Man. Vince, if you're listening, give us a call.
Give us a call.
We'd like to do your show.
I like to do a show. I like to do a back to school thing. He do a Goodwill Hunting thing.
Yeah, well, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, but neither of us are running on the beach.
No, God, no.
No, God, no.
Fucking, one of us isn't running.
But I guarantee that
both of us are not going to do it on the beach.
No, dear gosh, no. I mean, I need this flattest surface possible.
Yeah. You know how these knees work?
My knee almost went out just walking across the ring this weekend. Before my heavyweight title match this weekend, I was just walking in the ring and I kept hearing pop, 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 pop. I'm like, oh great, I have to wrestle for 15, 20 minutes.
Is there popcorn going on around here?
And my knee is popping every time I walk.
Very good.
Great.
So this kid, there's this blind kid hanging out by himself.
No, I was going to the beach now. I was going to the beach.
No, we're sticking that moment for a minute.
We'll go back to that bit.
All right,
we'll go back
beach.
To okay,
we go to the beach.
Go to the beach, and they do the whole mean girl situation, and they talk about, just the whole beach workout thing. I guarantee that's something they do, but I would be doing it going, how does this make me a better wrestler?
Yeah.
Like, wrestling makes you a better wrestler. I know this looks like something you do for Tough Enough for TV.
Actually, with their insurance, I doubt they're allowed to do anything outside of the PC. I doubt they're not allowed to take them to the beach like that.
That makes me feel good.
I would argue that point.
Okay. All right.
I know he has a big emotional thing where he just doesn't go. Did he do the phone call there too, where he calls Vince Vaughn? Has that not happened yet?
That's already happened.
Okay. So just to backtrack for a second, there is no way, there's no chance in hell that you would be able to call any fathom of the WWE and get someone on the phone like that.
Good, great point. How many times have people came up to us on wrestling shows like, you know what you need to do? You need to give old Vince a call and tell him to put you on TV. As if that's even possible.
Like that's a thing. Like that is a thing.
Obviously, Stephen Merchant, who's best friends with the fucking Rock, felt like it's a thing, and he wrote it in a fucking movie. You're part of the problem, Stephen Merchant.
Way to go. Way to make these morons out here think that it's okay for me to just call Vince up. Like, I got that number.
And we're talking about like Vince McMahon, not Vince Vaughn.
No. Probably easier to get a hold of Vince Vaughn.
Oh, absolutely. You can go to the Wild West Comedy Festival. I guarantee you'd be like, hey, Vince, take a picture. Yeah, sure, cool, man.
Yeah, is it? Nope.
Yeah, can I get your number? And he'd be like, against my better judgment, here's my number.
If I got a job at the PC as a janitor, there's probably no chance you could call down there and get me. You don't think you can get a hold of anyone at WWE like that.
Mm-hmm. Now,
so
if I had a back to school situation going
you could
on,
make sure
I'd be
forward
right
all of my calls, please.
Absolutely, I'd have a hot tub in my in my locker room at the PC.
So does that mean in the payoff of it all, you would get on the top rope, jump off, and do this weird sumo half flip, but land on the middle rope?
Yeah, because
do a different one on the bottom rope.
Because there's this legend of this guy that used to do that at Grace Park Rec Center.
Yep.
Anyway, weren't you the guy that did that? The Triple
Lindy was what it was called.
The Triple Lindy at Grace Park Rec Center. Like, I was do it with the pig, you know. Kids got to make money somehow. It was me or the horse, you know.
Oh, fucking Lord. Yeah, so don't try to call it the Performance Center or anybody in WWE, really, because that shit won't happen.
It's not happening.
All right, anyhow, they're running on the beach.
Yeah.
Honk the horn, honk the horn.
And Zach is wondering why he's not hired. You talk to the fucking Rock.
Hey.
Yeah, you're dialing up fucking Hutch. Like, you've got 2 strikes all the fuck ready.
Calling old sex tape up like that.
Get the fuck out of here. And we're going to get to that very fucking soon. We're getting there.
Best line ever, and, like, I just hope The Rock is like, The Rock's like, what if I called him sex tape?
Anywho, we'll get there. It's going to be a slow build.
Work to it. We'll work to it.
So she's going to go back for Christmas break, and I guess she's going to have a match while still under contract.
Yeah, and just straight up quits. Really, like just doesn't do it. I guess we talked over the part where she, seeing all these girls be in their little clique, she decides to dye her hair bleach blonde and get a fake tan like all of them. Mm-hmm. We left that part out.
Which actually
it means something here.
Which was a real thing, which is actually something that Paige did before she went to.
Okay.
Because she felt that that's what they wanted. And like, no.
So she showed up in America, blonded up and tan.
Yes. It wasn't when like she was there and she felt like she wanted to be included. It was like she already felt that before she got, like when she got there. And like, no, we want the goth girl.
That is important to know going into this.
But it was But it was most certainly for sure a thing that happened.
Yeah.
So that is real.
And then we mentioned we dropped off a good Vince Vaughn part. Her walk up to the bus. Yes, who'd you break up with? Did you have a major breakup? And just walked on.
Good line.
Yeah, great line. All Vince Vaughn.
Kind of true.
But then she goes back home for break and just gets to have a match. Just because you fucking can.
Yeah, I guess.
Because that's how it works in the NXT.
Although, Night Family. For sure would have done that.
Only way I would have believed it is if they would have put her in a hood. Somehow managed to get her in a hood.
But they need her to sell tickets.
Exactly. A meet and greet, quote unquote, and then that bitch is in the hood.
And then you're just supposed to bump them around a couple of times. So have her dressed like Santa and then bump around the Grinch.
Yep.
Whatever, however.
That's not what we get.
No.
we have Cersei Lannister dressed up as a reindeer, though, and that's rad.
For sure.
And half of Nick Frost Santa. Mm-hmm. Just the top.
Just the top.
Still in his little MMA biker fighting trunks.
Well, he probably had to have a match earlier on the show.
Of course.
He probably wrestled his wife.
He probably wrestled as Santa.
As Santa. And reindeer Cersei Lannister whooped that ass.
Oh, God. I'd pay for that.
I would too.
Yep.
So
match. And then the brother shoots on her.
Yep. Shoots on her, and then he disappears, gets into a bar fight.
Mm-hmm. He does really well for himself.
Yeah.
He's
does.
like just solo beating the shit out of these 4 guys.
Yeah. Just like he's the Rock.
Yeah. Like old Zach Zodiac is whooping some fucking ass.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, it's funny how destructive behavior works. It's like, oh, I'm just going to fuck it.
Yeah.
Throw it against the wall.
Can't be in the Fed. I'll just whoop the fuck out of these 4 dudes real fast. That'll do me good.
And then there's this big emotional moment where he confronts Paige and talks about how, you didn't even want this. Yeah. This was my dream. I always wanted this.
And the catalyst for this whole situation is that she tells him she wants to quit.
Yes.
She's not going to go back at all.
Not going to go back. It just pushes him over the edge.
And then he blurts that out in front of the family on purpose. And that's what we get us here. And
then we get that beautiful scene where she's like, Cersei Lannister is talking about how badly she wants her daughter to be in WWE. She's like, no shit. You name me after
your ring name.
Your ring name. And then the fact that the poster's just behind her and that's there. I'm like, that's filmmaking.
I liked, and this is small, and of course they did it because I could have gone both ways. I like that the posters that they had made of these events had Nick Frost and Cersei Lannister as playing their characters they play.
Yes.
And not like just the normal. Like I figured at some points like they would show just the original posters of the actual Knight family, or like later when they're showing the match with Paige and AJ, like showing actually that match. I mean, I always like when they kind of do that instead of just showing them wrestling this match. But yeah, I like the fact they had the poster made up of them. So then I had to think about Nick Frost and her taking promo shots and having to go through all of that.
Oh, that would have been a day and a half.
Yeah, that day. Like, I want to know what happened that day.
Oh, that'd be great.
And then did everybody get promo shots? It means they all got cool wrestling 8x10s, even though they didn't need them.
I guarantee The Rock was there for that.
Oh, yeah. He's like, well, I need a couple anyway. So
yeah, I need a couple anyways.
Yep.
One of those.
Can I take a picture with you? No, no, no.
I just did a physical bit on a podcast. Sorry.
Yeah, you sure did. Jake stood very Stewartly with a big, bold chest.
Yes. Thank you for the descriptors.
Yeah, unfortunately, these microphones don't pick up action. So
no, I mean, they're good microphones.
They are real good. You had to get the $300 mics. These are the $2 and $250.
All right.
You had the 300 on, so everybody would have seen this at home.
All right, I'll try and steal those next time.
Yeah, please.
But
maybe Micah can leave those behind.
Maybe. So yeah, we get this emotional scene where the Paige is talking with Zach, and the line that I like the most is. She talks about him teaching a blind kid to wrestle and him being there for people. And just, I don't know, this kind of drives home with me pretty hard.
Yeah.
Where she's like, just because 1,000 people cheer you on for the things you do doesn't mean that's not important.
Yeah.
I paraphrase that, but
yeah,
it's a great line.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know. Makes me kind of take a little stock in my position in professional wrestling.
Oh, something else we left out since we're here, and kind of the preface for all of this was the actual. We talked about the bus conversation.
Yes,
but we skipped over the bus conversation. We just said that there was a bus conversation. The bus conversation has already happened by this point, where Sex Tape or Hutch tells his backstory without her even knowing it.
Yeah,
which is basically like. She's still like caught up on the fact that they didn't sign his brother, and he's like, okay, what would you want me to do? You want me to sign him? You want me to bring him here, let him be on the road for 280 days, and he can't ever see his kid?
And he's a star and all that.
And you want him to do this, and you want him to do that, and you want him to be get on his first pay-per-view and get overexcited and let his opponent throw him off a 30-foot steel cage, and then it breaks a bone and it goes out of his shoulder, it goes right through his rotator cuff, and now he can't wrestle anymore. Is that what you want? And then she's at a lost for words. She goes, because that's what happened to me. And then they left that. That's where that scene ends. But we talked about the bus scene so much, we never actually talked about the bus scene come the bus scene. So.
I mean, that part's great. That's why I was like, yep, that's fun. Nailed it.
Killed it. Brother, get you that award.
Did a great job there. So, anyways, she comes back.
Yep.
Training montage. She makes friends with the girls using a Ultimate Warrior wrestling buddy.
Yeah. Vince didn't know why she showed back up. She goes, well, I didn't quit. I didn't honk the horn.
Yeah. So she comes back, she makes friends. They have a women's tag match where they do the dive, and Vince Vaughn's like, nope, you can't do that. Just cut it out.
You're fucking it up.
And they're like, no, we're gonna do it, and pushing the girls to the point that they do it, and they do it in a match where the referee has a shitload of fucking tattoos.
Yep.
Like,
well, they're also doing these NXT shows in like bars.
They were Florida, because I think when Paige came over, it was still Florida Championship Wrestling, and they were still doing shows in bars.
Because at the very beginning, when they were doing the first round before she bleached up, they were talking about, they announced that it was promo time. To the people in the crowd, and that's why they're cutting promos. And that's what I was weird. Like they would just announce, they would say promos in the front of a crowd. So was it always done in like, lack of a better term, like I guess like America's Got Talent style situations where like they would do these?
Yeah, kind of, because
or gut check. Gut check, I think would be a better
from what I know, like Ohio Valley, when they would do stuff on the shows, one of the things they would do, and it's disgusting to even say that sometimes they were like, all right, we got to get these girls on the show. We got to do something with them. Let's do a bikini contest today.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of the girls that were coming to NXT, not NXT, but OVW, and wanted an opportunity to be professional wrestlers, and were training and showing up to training every day, and we're hoping that Johnny Ace would see them and sign them to a developmental contract.
And told to bikini up.
Yep. And that one day they just showed up, and trust me, if I was going to take pictures, I would want, or have me, like, video of me online, like, in a Speedo, I would want to look good.
Yeah.
And, your body fluctuates with everything, and you want to time it out and do it right, but you just showing up to the building, and we were doing a bikini contest, and I knew somebody that was in that system that basically said they had to keep a bikini in their wrestling gear bag because they never knew when they were going to just say, oh, we're doing a bikini contest today. That was WWE Developmental.
Hey, guys.
Women's
Revolution, everybody.
Just to let you know how far down it was.
The evolution to the revolution.
Yes. Just to let you know that. That's kind of one of the things about, seeing these girls trying to get the suicide dive and pushing for opportunity. So that story's kind of told a little bit and pushed forth, and that's what we're getting to. And then the girls are going to WrestleMania because they do so well. And that's where you get to Paige.
Some of the most unbelievable bullshit ever.
Let's talk about all this goddamn shit. This fucking Rock sweet scene. Like, I get that we're booking
it. It is fantastic for a movie.
Yes, because
fucking stupid.
Yes, the fact that The Rock would be the one to tell Paige that she is going to win the women's title is so far from the truth. Like, I would
just wrestle for it. She doesn't say she's going to win it. Just she's going to be wrestling for the title tomorrow night.
Exactly. Just that's a conversation that Hutch would have had, and I get that we're doing it because we're booking it from their first experience in England and that whole interaction. Then yada 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 yada. I understand why that is, and then just the Rock suite. Like, I was in that suite, I was like, oh, she's gonna meet Vince McMahon.
That's where I thought it was gonna be Vince.
I thought Vince was gonna walk in, and why couldn't you get Vince for I mean, I know he's a busy man,
and just as a quick hello, thank you. And then he could have thrown it to The Rock.
Yes.
But definitely, that was a Vince. Vince McMahon should have been right there.
Vince McMahon should have been in this scene right here.
Like, great to meet you. She loses her mind. It's great to meet you. Oh, no, you're not here for me.
Yeah.
And then, boom, there's The Rock. Vince fucks off. There's that go home, which is still stupid. But...
Yeah,
but this is a Vince McMahon moment.
Yeah, it should have been like, I've heard a lot of good things about you.
Yeah,
and I'm a wrestling family as well, and I respect.
I remember what it was being a child that loved wrestling.
My father being a promoter as well, and that's when she could have got a little joke about, oh, you've heard about WAW?
Yeah,
and I go, not exactly, but I just want to. I wanted to tell you something, but somebody actually wanted to deliver the news to you, who's also part of the business as far as their family goes, and then kick it over to The Rock, and then he just walks out the door.
Yeah.
Because I've seen Vince McMahon kind of do that with second-generation wrestlers. Like, I was at a taping. Oh, this is part 4 of your extra
guys, you're gonna get a little bit of an exclusive here.
I was doing some extra work. I think it was in Roanoke, Virginia, and it was before Natty Neihart was ever on TV. and they had called her up, and she was just kind of on the road, still in developmental, and they hadn't really used her or anything like that, but they put her in a dark match. And they put her, I don't remember who she wrestled, but they did something in the match where they told her to go home earlier than they expected because they wanted to run a little test with her and see how she was going to react to
on the fly
in a quick reaction, and she handled it pretty well. And she was all nervous, like, okay, it was okay, and they're like, no, you're good, and they didn't say much about it, but you could clearly tell it was a test. And then Vince, before the SmackDown taping started, he walked over to Natty, and I saw this. I saw him walk over to her while she was just kind of a little flustered from going out and wrestle her. And Vince just walked right over to her and grabbed her hand and said, "You did such an excellent job, young lady. It was so wonderful to see you out there perform. You did an excellent job. You did your father proud," and did this whole like flowery thing and told her how wonderful and great she is. And it just explains why she's been there as long as she has, that everything they wanted to see out of her, they saw in that particular moment. So that's cool. And knowing that, I wish we would have seen. This would have been a great Vince moment. This would have been a great Vince moment right there. But we get a different Vince moment. We get a Vin Diesel fucking joke in the middle of this fucking whole thing. Like, just The Rock is just using this movie to dig at Vin Diesel? Yeah.
Really, buddy? This is what you wanted to, this is your time you want to do that?
This is the time you want to do that. I couldn't fucking believe this. And another thing we couldn't believe, we've got to that moment.
Not yet. Well,
what else we got to talk about?
Well, she called the family, and then Nick Frost doesn't believe that it's The Rock.
Yes.
He's like, fuck off. Bullshit. And then like that, just that whole moment I thought was just real fun. That. And then he tried to. It's already happened, but we're going to talk about it in the credits, where it goes back to them being carny. He tried to sell stock in his family to the couple. So that was also good. But yeah, he doesn't believe that it's The Rock, and so that's a cute, fun moment.
Well, listen, I didn't believe it was Mark Carano on the phone who was booking me for extra talent gigs. So if The Rock called me up and told me I was getting extra talent bookings, because apparently The Rock just does booking decisions as well. I'm surprised old Dwayne didn't call me up and tell me I got an extra spot in Charleston, South Carolina.
Well, like when he's like, yeah, whatever, I don't believe it, like, prove it, and he does his line. If I was going to prove that I was someone famous, I don't think I would go with my most popular line that anyone could just say.
Oh, you don't know Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I guess not.
You don't.
But clearly I know Nick Frost because he did not believe it. Like, nope, bullshit again, and fucking hung up on him.
I promise you, if The Rock was trying to prove that he was who he was on the phone, he would do this scene exactly the way he did it.
If he wants to do that, he can cut a promo like he did on like Rob Corddry and Billions or something for me to believe it.
I would.
But anyway, yeah.
Billions? You mean ballers?
Ballers. Billions, ballers, whatever.
Billions, but billion ballers?
Billion Ballers. It's a new show I'm working on.
Okay.
After I make my WWE janitor money. Okay. And now we're here. Now we're at the moment we've talked about multiple times.
How do we even get it?
I don't even know. Like, the dad knows, she knows, she's in the WWE. They walk outside. Rock gives Vince Vaughn the brother nod, and then that's when we learn that Rock has known Vince for a very long time and is in fact the wrestler that injured Vince Vaughn, ending his career. And then refers to him as, so you know him? And he goes, oh, Sex Tape? Yeah, I know Sex Tape. Why do you call him Sex Tape? He makes people famous. Fucking brother. What a name. What a fucking just gratuitous, not necessary whatsoever fucking line. That is so rad.
Which minutes before that was said, I was thinking about getting on this microphone. What I was going to say about this movie.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you do certain searches on Paige.
Okay.
They're all okay. You see where I'm going here?
We've all seen the news of wrestling.
Yeah, there are a lot of issues, and I think some things that Paige would probably like to forget happened in her life.
Yes, and rightfully so.
And I remember watching this movie, and I was thinking like, oh, this is wonderful for her, because I remember her mom being very nice to me. Every time I've met Saraya, and I've met Paige very much in passing a couple of times. and she's always been super sweet and super nice, and I know she means a lot to a lot of people. And I kept thinking, like, man, this is awesome that this movie is so wonderful. This is a good movie. And then the whole inspirational thing of the girls getting to do the suicide dives, and I could see that they were building the story that she was one of the girls that was, to help turn the corner for the women's revolution thing. And I'm like, oh man, this is amazing that this movie, after everything that she's gone through, this movie will become like her legacy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is awesome. This is such a positive thing that we're moving past all of this sex tape stuff.
Oh, man.
And we're going to get past that, and this movie will be that. And people will forget all about it. And then they say goddamn sex tape in the middle of the fucking movie about a person who had to be disgraced in public because of a goddamn sex tape. You bring up the sex tape. You couldn't come up with a better goddamn line? Stephen Merchant, you're a comedic fucking genius. You wrote that shit as if it was a good fucking idea?
And it made it in. No one told him, nah, man, that ain't gonna work here.
That's a bad idea. Nobody said that this was a bad
Not one person.
Not one fucking person. Hey,
Rock?
Maybe we shouldn't bring up the word sex tape in a movie about somebody who probably would like to forget they have a fucking sex tape. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Sex tape. Hey, man, makes people famous.
And that was the thing, too. I was trying to think, like, how could I, when I got on this microphone and talked about this, and how would I skirt around the issue of what happened? Because I don't even want people to listen to this podcast and then bring it up. Go search it up. If they haven't already, or I don't want to even, like, because maybe they'll listen to this podcast 20 years from now when people have forgotten about it.
Yeah.
Or
we don't want to be the reason you go out there looking at revenge porn.
Exactly. And I was trying.
Because that is wrong.
Yeah, and I was just trying to think of, like, what's the best way to say it and bring it up, and then they just say sex tape in the middle of the mic. Okay, well, I guess we can just fucking talk about sex tapes. Why the fuck not?
Would it be baller as fuck if it was her idea, though?
You know what? That's the other thing I thought of. Like, that's to take ownership of it.
Yeah,
I would be fine with it.
That'd be fucking rad.
If she's like, yeah, fuck it, you saw
you should call him a sex tape.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah, if she's the one that came up with it, it's like, yeah, sure, they saw my naughty bits. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Goddamn Paige.
Then I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I still got a job.
Yeah. I got a movie made about me.
Yeah, fuck.
So
guess that's 2 now.
If that's the motivation, I'm
for it.
I'm for it 1,000%. Yeah, that's all I'm at right now.
Just blown away.
But we get the match, AJ Lee. And it's for the Divas title. I know we've taken a lot of political license or poetic license and political.
Both.
We've made some political stances in here.
Yeah,
but poetic license with a lot of things. Why couldn't we just say the women's title?
Yeah.
Why do we got to use the Divas belt?
Yeah.
I get that's accurate.
But I guess, they kind of made a deal about her having that belt as a kid and had her mom made a cardboard belt.
I know.
Necessary evil. I'll rack it up to.
I just,
But I agree. That's stupid.
Yeah, if we're gonna, like, not put.
It is good that it's no longer the Divas title, right? Since there's 2.
No, there's no Divas title anymore.
Great that it became.
But if we're not gonna have the person who's playing AJ Lee not wear exact same AJ Lee stuff, why can't we just have the women's title out there? Yeah. If we're gonna take poetic license with several other things, why can't we just have the women's title? I
can get on that.
That's how I feel about it. So, I will say this: we obviously watched this movie in the theater. When the mother-in-law said, "Suck on that bitch,"
yeah, that was rad.
That got a theater laugh.
Yeah,
and so let that. Real big emotional promo at the end. It's great. Whatever, all that. Movie ends.
Does that actually happen? Like, because they follow her off and they're showing her on TV hugging the girls.
I think it's reversed. I think the promo comes before the match. I meant to watch the whole.
But I'm talking about her running in the back and hugging all the girls from NXT class.
I'm sure that happened.
Okay,
I'm sure.
I don't know if they showed it on TV the way they showed it on TV in this movie.
I don't know for sure. Okay. We should have watched that, considering this is the biggest moment of that, but we did not.
We'll figure it out.
I do remember watching it live, though.
Yeah.
I don't remember the particular details of everything, but I do.
Did she clam up on the promo? Do you remember?
I remember her not being the most natural thing in the world, but that's because she's talking
Day
to
fucking one.
She's talking to AJ Lee, who was monstrous on the microphone at the time. Anybody's going to look second tier next to her on the microphone, especially at that period of time. But I remember watching it with somebody who was also a female wrestler, and they were going the whole time like, no, don't do this to her. No, don't do this to her. Don't do this to her. Because the idea of her winning the belt on Raw, there's no place to go.
Yeah.
It's very hot-shotted, which they do with the girls a lot. They hot-shot, and then, boom, you're done with you.
Yeah.
As opposed to we're building, and we're telling a compelling story for you to get the belt. Like, no, we're just going to put the belt on you just to pop people. And I remember the female wrestler that I was watching this with at the time was like, no, don't do this to her. Don't do this. No. And she was, like, upset that she won the belt. Yeah. It's like, no, you ruined her career.
Yeah.
Like, she said, even though in this movie it's seen as this big...
Almost like the apex of it, but it's really
apex,
not.
Yeah. So I felt that was funny. I felt like you know, the idea that we're just going to hot shot the women's title and do whatever, as opposed to tell compelling stories on a chase, much like they are now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and then of course the title sequences that the credits in the end. They're talking about Paige ushering in the women's revolution. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I can get behind what this movie's about.
Yeah.
And then they bring up the fact that The Rock went on to a successful career outside
Right.
wrestling.
I was like, come on now. Fuck you.
Yeah, that was another thing.
Now you're just watching yourself jerk off, and I'm not for that. That's
and
weird.
See, and this is The Rock a nice person?
Oh, probably not.
See, and this is, when it gets, I do a bit.
Real Rock. Probably not.
I
Dwayne Johnson's probably not. The Rock is awesome. Dwayne Johnson's probably kind of a cocksucker.
Here's what I think about Dwayne Johnson. Okay, I do a bit that nobody laughs at, nobody likes, but I stand by it and I'm working on it until the day that Dwayne Johnson gets exposed. I'm gonna have this shit ready. In that, I have this thing that Dwayne The Rock Johnson is a super conservative Republican and a crazy pro-lifer. I have a whole bit about him being super pro guns.
Yeah.
Because every movie that he's in, he's holding guns.
But he's always against them at first. But he shows it. But he's really good with them. So I get it. No, I get it.
I'm just saying. Like, every movie he's in, he's got guns. Also, too, do you think he's for universal health care? No. He's like, no. I don't want to pay for your health insurance. Yeah. I have the body of a Greek god. I'm drinking shark milk.
But you know you can milk a shark, but you can.
Yeah.
I figured it out.
And then, of course, you
can milk an almond, you can milk a shark.
He's super rich. Who do you think he wants tax cuts for?
Kevin Hart.
So,
Not Bret Hart.
Yeah. So I'm just saying.
I can get behind it. I can believe it. Because nobody likes to be faced with the truth.
Yeah.
That's why nobody laughs.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to believe that this amazing actor of a man and great, just great. We are shown a great person. They don't want to believe he's a bad person.
Idol of society in a sense,
yeah,
and I feel like there should always be some sort of person that sticks their hand up in the face of something that's all so perfect and shiny, and go, wait a minute, are we sure that this thing is so great?
Dwayne Johnson was an inside job. Write that down.
I'm just saying. Somebody needs to stand up and then contemplate these things. I would like to be proven wrong.
I hope so.
I would like to be a crazy person. I would like to be the Alex Jones on this issue right here.
So Dwayne, if you're listening, tell everyone you know. If you want to prove to us you're a good guy, tell everyone you know to rate and subscribe this podcast. We'll send you a free shirt still.
I'm just saying, if you want to make another wrestling movie filmed in the PC, we've got two
really good working titles right now.
You know, like Goodwill Hunting for a Job.
Yeah, and back to wrestling school.
Back to wrestling school. I'm just saying, we got two options.
Prove ball's in your court now, Dwayne. And you can be in both of them, however you feel.
However
you want to be Matt Damon, you can be Matt Damon.
Yeah.
You want to be the avatar of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck? Fine.
You want to be the professor that I fall in love with?
Wait,
sure.
No. I have to be Matt Damon because I got to be the one that is Goodwill Hunting. So you can be Ben Affleck.
Yeah, he can.
Kevin Hart can be Ben Affleck. Whoever you want. I don't care.
I don't care. Nobody cares. He can be Minnie Driver.
Yeah, well, please be Minnie Driver.
Yeah, I know.
That would be the best part of the fucking movie.
That's why I want him to be my Sally Kellerman.
There we go. So there you go. Rock, balls in your court.
Yeah, we'll be your love interest
in
your next movie.
Miss every shot you don't take. Write that down.
Absolutely.
All right, we're there.
We're there.
And then we see some home videos of it all, and like just to kind of.
And I think that drives the whole story home.
That was a very good ending.
Absolutely, fantastic.
I think that made a good bit of the movie for me.
Yeah, and I think it really showed things that actually happened that were in this movie. It added validity to everything, and then showing how on point all the portrayals were. Drove it back home. Great call. Anything else? We already said we recommended just solely off Cersei Lannister being Saraya Knight.
Exactly. I'm not going to tell you not to see it. I am going to say I didn't super care for the movie. I liked Vince Vaughn, and I liked Nick Frost and Cersei Lannister. I thought some of the movie was just so fluffed up that it was hard for me to believe a lot of it, or at least get behind it and think this is a good thing. But I'm not going to say don't see it, because if you like wrestling, you're going to love the movie. I'm bitter. So, but yeah, I didn't care a whole lot for it. But go ahead and watch it.
I like that when I left the theater, there were a bunch of young girls leaving the theater.
And that's cool. And that is 100% on board with that.
Yep. And that's how I feel about it, although I think the whole movie was not what I would sit down for entertainment, but I would rather see Cersei Lannister as Cersei Lannister.
Yeah. I would rather see Jake Manning as Rodney Dangerfield.
Rodney Dangerfield in Back to Wrestling School.
Exactly. But I digress. Jake, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. Like I said, make sure you leave a review on iTunes and Stitcher. We'll give all our dates on all our social medias and all that stuff.
You'll see us. We're
but,
not.
But like I said before, anything we've missed, glazed over, make sure you at me on Twitter, at ManScoutManning. Email me at manscoutmanning@yahoo.com. Make sure you log on to howdidthisgetbooked.com. That's where you can get How Did This Get Booked t-shirts and my merch as well. But you can get a free How Did This Get Booked t-shirt if you just leave a review on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you again, T-Bone Duffy, and also _Ray_. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, and wherever podcasts are available. And make sure you go to Six Squirrel Studios for all of your podcasting needs.
So we need to talk about the Power Pro Wrestling t-shirt real fast. Go.
Oh, Power Professional Wrestling. Make sure you get that at howdidthisgetbooked.com. For every shirt that you buy, the proceeds of that will be donated to the Time Out Youth Fund. So please, I was only able to give $20 last month and $60 the month before. I'm tired of embarrassing myself to do something nice for people. So please buy a Power Professional Wrestling shirt. I would much appreciate that. And that is available at howdidthisgetbooked.com. Make sure you select the merch tab. And this has been another edition of How Did This Get Booked?
Woo!